Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football for the FA Cup live watch-along with me, Mark Goldbridge, as Crystal Palace take on Manchester City in a big cup game in the English calendar. So answer me this, why is it getting so little hype? I am not here to wind up Crystal Palace or Manchester City fans. I am here to say we need to pump this up. It's an FA Cup final. It's a tradition on That's Football. We always do a watch-along. You know, there might be garages to clean, there might be cars to wash, there might be grasses to cut, but this is an FA Cup final, and I've never known a final with so little hype attached to it. And I know Man United, Man City was a bigger final last year, but Palace are a good side, Man City are a little bit vulnerable. It should have more, and I don't know what it is, and that is nothing to do with you good people or me or anybody else. I just think that there's a general failure on behalf of the media, I suppose, in a sense, because I was literally at a football tournament this morning for Seb's team, shout out to them, and the amount of people who were like, oh, I forgot the FA Cup final was on. And I thought, you know, that is a fair point. It's not our job to hype it up. I was always going to do a watch along, and I'm sure all of you were probably always going to watch the final, but the hype around it is terrible. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it, but the hype is terrible. I've just realised, actually, the two United tops there, we can't see the top of them, but the blue and the red gives off good Palace vibes there. I like that. That could be a sign. Yeah, so Crystal Palace against Man City. We'll go through the team news in a moment. We're sponsored by Manscaped, by the way. We'll talk about what that is, but it's an exclusive offer with the code FOOTY to get 20% off and free delivery worldwide. So check out Manscaped. Brilliant little bit of offer there. Who do you want to win, Mark? Wow, you know what? I'm just going to shock everybody and say I'd love to see Man City pump Palace like a porn star and win, you know, 6-0. I mean, of course I want Palace to win. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, I might have maybe Oasis signature there, but that's a musical preference. That's not a footballing preference. I would love to see Crystal Palace win. I would love to see Crystal Palace win for one main reason, actually. 1990, Manchester United, Crystal Palace was a really good FA Cup final, and it actually ended up in a replay. When days used to have a replay, makes me feel old. 2016, we also beat them with Jesse Lingard, and third time lucky for Palace against the Manchester club, hopefully. It's the underdog game, says Neville, exactly. So I'm hoping that Palace can do it. They're certainly capable of doing it. I think there is a vulnerability to Manchester City, and I almost think the way Palace play, if you think about the semi-final against Villa, 30% possession, but could have won 4-5-0. You know, and I remember Glasner saying after they got beat at the Etihad a few weeks ago, that won't happen again. So I'm quietly hopeful that we might get a tactical masterclass from Glasner. Although I am in my win, lose or draw. You'll see yesterday, Robbie went for a Palace win. I've gone for a Man City win. Logically, I think it's the right way to go, but I do think that they will win. We'll talk about Manscaped in a minute. Don't forget you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping, but let's have a quick look at these teams as they come in, because we've got Manchester City's team on the screen there as well. No other Premier League games today, by the way, so you know, this is it. They've tried to put the focus on the FA Cup, and maybe that's why everyone's forgot about it. Ortega, Akanji, Ruben Diaz, Vardiel, O'Reilly, Silva, De Bruyne and Mamouche, Haaland, Savio and Doku. So people like Phil Foden are on the bench for Manchester City today. And Gundogan's there, Grealish is there. But he is starting both Doku and Savinho, which I quite like, actually. Proper wingers playing in a game like this. Erling Haaland back, of course. They've got the Club World Cup that they're preparing for soon as well. Crystal Palace, can I get Crystal Palace up on the? Can I get a rewind? Craig David on T4. Can I get a rewind? Yes, you can. Oh, Kez. Oh, can we get a rewind? I'm Craig David on T4. Can I get a rewind? Who remembers that? Ball selector. Apparently that was bullying. I call it comedy. There's a fine line. Anyway, Dean Henderson. Oh, I've messed it up doing the bloody Craig David. It's going to be one of them shows. Absolutely incredible. Right, here we go. Dean Henderson, Richards, Lacroix, Guehi, Munez, Mitchell, Kamada, Wharton, Sarr, Eze, Mateta. It's a good side. It's a good side. It's a good Crystal Palace side. There's no doubt about it. It's just whether it's good enough to beat Manchester City. Let's see. Goldio has been a member for 13 months and says Palace in the Europa League would be crazy, but the real question is, will Derek be making a main stage appearance for your Europa League final watch-along? Listen, the Melbeck Fund is still open. The amazing thing is, last night I was talking about one of the big superstitions that we've had on Manchester United's Europa League run has been every game in the knockout stage, I've bought myself a bottle of red wine Melbeck. And I was talking about it on the watch-along last night, and I said, if anyone, wants to contribute to it, we'll get a nice bottle of wine, nice bottle. I thought we'd get like a couple of quid. We got 100 quid. So I was doing some research last night, and I have actually found an Argentinian 2019 Melbeck for 130 quid. So this is going to be the most expensive bottle of Melbeck I've ever drunk on Wednesday night. So looking forward to it. The fund's still open. We could end up with a bloody rare one here. I mean, the thing is, what I will say about this bottle of red wine that I'm buying, it says it can be drunk now, but would be great to be stored for future years. So I'm literally going to destroy wine hipsters when I get it for a Europa League watch-along and don't keep it in the cellar. I mean, I'm gonna drink it like it's bloody Ribena, and they're gonna go absolutely crazy. And I don't care, because I'm gonna be going, pour me a pint, agadoo. Yes. So yeah, I'm not a wine connoisseur, but on Wednesday night we could be devouring or sipping a very, very, very expensive vintage, which, as I say, I think wine hipsters are going to go crazy. Did you see that? Goldbridge quaffing wine like Ribena on a football watch-along. It's disgusting drinking a Melbeck from 2019. What a waste of it. Funded by the chat. Palace, I've done that from Goldio anyway. You won't get a hangover at that price. I mean, I'm very interested to taste a £130 bottle of amount. I might start doing Goldbridge tastes expensive things. That's not sexual, by the way. I'm not giving celebrities, you know what, fellatio. Is it more expensive? Maybe we should ask Diddy. No, I mean like expensive food, like Goldbridge, eats £1,000 Japanese Wagyu steak. That would be good. Linda said, I once paid £2,203 for wine. Surely you could have... Linda. Come on, Linda. Surely, when you're paying £2,203 for a bottle of wine, you could have haggled down the £3. What was the £3 for? Get yourself a bottle of Penfolds Grange 2004 or 2001. Search it up. Unbelievable wines those are, says Goldio. Arturo's adding to the Melbeck Fund already, but did you see Goodison won't get demolished and will be home of Everton's women's team? Is that true? I don't know whether it is getting demolished. You're getting me excited here. What's for tea, Mark? I think I'm going to get an Indian takeaway tonight because we've had a busy day today. We're out very early this morning for a tour. I feel like it should be like 9 o'clock at night. I've watched an entire tournament. Seb's team played 6 games, and I was back at the house at 2. Goodison Park could have been demolished, but Everton's new owners had another idea. It will be demolished and it won't be demolished. It'll be a new home for women's football. Great. Good. I'd still get to play there then one day, maybe. Ridiculous these finals are on before the season's over, says Brian Dale. Yeah, I think with the FA Cup, I mean, look, we have a few minutes. I'm just going to give you the latest football news around transfers. Thanks everyone who subscribed to the channel this week as well. I know we've got a lot of new people tuning in. Our daily transfer show is back and will be for the summer as well. We have got some plans for the Club World Cup as well, which I'll be letting you know over the next few weeks. But it's going to be the place to be on That's Football, so make sure you subscribe. We have been doing daily transfer news. I haven't done a video today, but we have got some news for you today that I haven't brought you in. So, interestingly, Liverpool and Real Madrid and Barcelona are looking at Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton, according to the Daily Mail, who is playing today. And they've also been linked to Nkunku, which I think is a load of shite. If you're a Liverpool fan, do not sign Nkunku. I think even Chelsea fans would say that. Very good player, but injury record. I've seen him on episodes of Casualty on BBC One on Saturday night more than I have in a Chelsea shirt. Wolves are stepping up their efforts to sign Liverpool midfielder Harvey Elliott, according to Give Me Sport. Chelsea are apparently looking at Branthwaite, who I think will be on the move this summer, and Guehi, who's playing in this. Aston Villa are linked to bringing Disasi in on a permanent deal. And that's pretty much about it there. But Adam Wharton's an interesting player. I mean, I think it might be a little bit soon to leave Crystal Palace, but he's going to be very important in this game today. Yeah. New Everton's named after law firm, apparently, says the Great Dane. And problem is, once you've had a really top bottle of wine, everything else just tastes like crap, says Nick P. It's like flying in first class and going back to cattle. Well, I've never flown in first class, Nick P. I'm a man of the people, the people's champion. I'm like The Rock. So, yeah, I don't fly first class. I would like to try it, just to try, could do a video, Goldbridge flies first class. Goldbridge tries 300 bottle pound of wine. The thing is, though, I would massively offend if they, if some wine merchant invited me around for a video and said, "We've heard you want to do this, or do it." So get a camera guy there, £300 bottle of wine, just for the banter. I wouldn't be able to stop myself going, "Tastes like Ribena. You can get this for £1 down the local Sainsbury's." They would be destroyed by that, because I get the feeling that wine hipsters don't take comedy against their, historically vintage wines. What about Chris Brown being locked up, says Brian Dale? I haven't heard anything about it. What about thoughts on Hulson to Madrid, says Arturo? I think we all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? I feel like we never knew him. Quick season in the Premier League and he's off. But there we go. Ribena is a goat drink, Amar. I haven't drank it for ages, but I was going up to Manchester on Wednesday, and I stopped off at the petrol station, and I was really thirsty. When you're like really thirsty, and I wanted something to quench my thirst. So I thought about getting a bottle of pop. Pop, to people who don't understand what pop is, we used to call pop. It's just like Coca-Cola or Tango, fizzy drink. We used to just call it, can I have a can of pop? A bottle of pop and a packet of crisps is what I used to get from the pub. Not when I was 18. You get punched. They'd be like, "What's wrong with you? You're in the wrong bar." You get a pint lager. But yeah, I was going to get pop, but I thought that's going to be not really a thirst quencher. I'm actually against buying water for a drink in a shop. I just think I'm just against it. I wouldn't be against it if I was dying of thirst, but I just don't get, when you go in a petrol station and you're thinking about getting a drink, and there's a whole big section of bottled water, like Evian, Volvic. Up yours. I'm not buying bottled water at £2. I'd rather just swallow my saliva, which is not very great. But so I was like, I can't have fizzy drink. I'm not buying water. I went with Ribena. And it was really nice, really nice. I would never get the sugar-free Ribena though. Health reasons you might want to, but have you heard that they're going to bring in this thing in the UK called the sugar tax? So basically, anything you buy with sugar will have a tax on top of it now. They've had to rename one of the bands actually in the UK. They're just called the Babes now. Used to be called the Sugar Babes, but they can't afford the tax. Joke. But yeah, I heard about that. But I like Ribena anyway, long story short. Do you like ale or IPAs, Mark? I like neck oil, says the Great Dane. A lot of people do like neck oil. I'm not really a lager, IPA or real ale connoisseur. I went through a phase when I was about 29 where I got old before my time. I started buying one colour round neck jumpers from Marks and Spencer's with cords and drinking John Smith's, and I just realised that I was probably not very well in the head. So I haven't gone back to that stage yet. I'll wait till I'm about 60. Lactose intolerant friend just ate cheese cooked, says the Mist. It's going to be on the toilet, that's for sure. I've got a friend who's gluten intolerant, and it's no laughing matter. Yeah, there are implications. If you're around their house, you're not going to get to use the toilet. Let's put it that way. What about this? Are you going to do the Championship playoff final, says Tanishk. I can't think of anything more depressing than watching Sheffield United play Sunderland, unless you're a Sheffield United or Sunderland fan. Yeah, so no, not for me. I only drink bottled water in a glass bottle, says Keel Robinson. Thank you very much. Palace fans going off. Haven't seen much footage of the City fans. Well, hopefully they've sold all their tickets this time, because remember the semi-final against Forest, there was a big, massive section. Who do you think's winning the Eurovision today, says Daniel. I mean, I used to love watching the Eurovision years ago. I really did. I used to love... I didn't like the song section. We used to just go around and have a Eurovision party for the points. But I won't be watching that. I'm going to watch a classic film tonight. There we go. Oh, boring question. If somebody knows a really good way of cleaning the upholstery in your cars, let me know. I bought this spray that does really good on the interior, but it's crap on the upholstery. It just doesn't do anything. There must be in the modern day a spray that you can use that just works really, really well. It's 2025. It's probably a bloody robot that can come and clean my car. I'm not steam cleaning it, Harley. It will take forever. I just want to spray something. Who do you think would have done that one? Anyway, thank you for the super chats early on here. Really appreciate that. We're about 7 minutes away from kickoff. And yeah, look, I think the first 15 minutes is going to be key, as always. I feel that if they can start off well, then we could be in for an interesting game. I would put Man City as favourites, but let's see what happens. Please do share the video if you're watching, by the way. I've got no idea how many people are going to tune in for this. The Champions League has had consistently nearly 30,000 watching. We're at 6,000 watching an FA Cup final. I think that shows everything to the FA, that even on a YouTube channel, we can sort of dictate demographically the interest in these games. I mean, let me just put it into context. My Baller League watch-alongs, we're getting 6,000 viewers. So, yes, 6,000 at the moment. But make sure you share the video. Well, it's a Saturday and we'll have a good stream regardless, however many watch. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Just whilst we're getting ready for the game, we are sponsored by Manscaped today. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. You'll be like, what is he on about? Well, I'm talking about this. This is the lawnmower. This gets to work down there. It makes everything look bigger. Precision engineering for your family jewels. 20% off and free worldwide shipping on the lawnmower. It makes a big difference. That's why we say trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. But they've also got the beard trimmer, which for some reason that is missing the bit off the top. And I don't know why, because... Oh, here it is. There it is. 19 different lengths on it. I use this regularly and I will be using it in the morning. Brilliant, that is. You got the Handyman, which is a portable one. Gets Carol excited, this. But for Carol to be excited, it needs to be touching something. Ooh. Anyway, that's the Handyman, and they've got the Weed Whacker for up the nose as well. You can order all of these things, one of these things, they're delivered to your door worldwide, and you get 20% off with the code FOOTY. Hey, you've got the dirty imagination. I'm just saying Carol likes that noise when it's touching something. It could have been touching my hand, it was. I mean, I don't know. Yes, don't forget to check out Manscaped. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. Get 20% off with the code exclusively on That's Football. Footy is the code, and free delivery with that code as well. Black Sheep 19 says that City are a Lego club. Quick build, then what is there? Well, you know, you might be onto something there. I suppose. Don't tell me that Hamilton and Leclerc haven't even made it into the 10 for qualifying. I mean, Formula 1 is dusted, isn't it? And why is Verstappen still the best in a car that's meant to be slow? I'm bored of. I'm actually bored of Formula 1. I really am. Yeah, they both went out in Q2. Formula One's still crap. Sorry, not interested in it. Off you go. There we go. Amazingly, the BBC and the ITV have got the FA Cup final. That's all I'm going to say. Formula One was good for about 2 years, about 4 years ago, and now it's crap. How much do you want to see City lose? I don't know whether it's because I'm so excited. You know what? On BBC, it says press red to watch with Radio 5 Live. I'm telling you now, the mainstream need to get in contact with people like myself and say, do you want your audio? Can we have your audio as part of the red button? Because people would love that. So many people are hitting mute and sinking in with our watch along anyway. Just make it a mainstream option. So obvious. No, look, I do want Palace to win. I just want to see a good game. And I am obviously so obsessed at the moment with United and next Wednesday that I don't really have a lot of energy to... let me put it this way. I think if this turns into a hate watch, which I would never do anyway, but like, oh, I really, really want Palace to win. I really want City to lose. I feel like I'm using up my, whatever you call it in football, your luck. I would just want Man United to win on Wednesday. If someone says Man City will win 6-0, but Man United will win on Wednesday, where do I sign? If someone says Palace will win, but Man United will lose on Wednesday, no, I don't want it. What's your thoughts on the CI UB podcast? Says Jasui. I think you're talking about the club. Not for me. Champions League final predictions, says Harish. Straight away, they've got a massive knobhead on it, so I just wouldn't listen to it. Mark, Piers Morgan versus... I'll let you decide. Piers Morgan versus Goldbridge as show host, says Tisada. Hey, Piers Morgan's a better show host than me. I'd love the opportunity, but he's definitely a better... look, he's got a very successful show. I think he knows deep down that I could do better than him, and that's probably what motivates him. But I haven't got that show, so I've got to bow down to it. Pratwell's the referee. Who's your favourite Estonian player? Says Willem. What was the name of the goalkeeper? Was it Poom? Coffee versus tea. Depends what time it is, mate. If it's after midday, tea. If it's 9 o'clock in the morning, sometimes tea, sometimes coffee. If it's 7 o'clock in the morning, coffee. Right, ready to go. Who do you think is winning? We've done that one from Daniel as well. I am going to stand up for a bit, but I am heavily injured. I just feel like standing up's not even that good for my hip. Sitting down isn't even that good for my hip, so I'm actually going to stand up a little bit here. I don't know what I'm doing wearing this, by the way. I mean, it's been so warm in the UK this week, and I'm back wearing... Hello. Hello, everybody. Okay, we lost the audio there for a moment. It sometimes happens when I stand up. It just sometimes goes mute. Right. Let's get this party started. Crystal Palace, Manchester City. Is there a kit clash? Oh, this is going on. This is going on now. Let me just get the timer and then I'll start the... there's a problem with the sound. Actually, let me sort the sound out first. Hello, that should be fine now. Right. Is there a bit of a kit clash? Oh, it's done it again. Why has that happened again? Right, we'll have to get let me just sort the timer out here. This happened, exactly the same thing happened yesterday on the United watch along. Let me just sort this timer out. Okay. Right, the time is sorted. Don't know. Don't know, mate. Don't know. Hi, Mark. I know you don't do hockey watch-alongs, but would you consider doing one for the IHFF Championship Finals? This is so real. Absolutely not, is the honest answer. I'm just going to try something here. It might work, it might not. I have the distinct feeling it won't work. It's gone completely now. No, I don't know. We'll have to get that sorted. Annoying. Anyway, it's all Man City. Expect what I would expect from this game, and we're seeing it here in the first few minutes, is a Manchester City side dominating the possession. This happened against Aston Villa. Remember, there actually was a time where Crystal Palace had the best away defensive record in the Premier League up until sort of mid-April, I think it was. So they're more than accustomed at defending and defending well. So it will be defence against attack, and then Palace will look to counter. Here's O'Reilly. A lot of people talking about the scoreboard. We've also got a Frimpong here we go. I mean, who does a here we go 5 minutes into the... I mean, come on, seriously. Who does a here we go 5 minutes into a FA Cup final? I mean, is that Liverpool just bantering Man City or what? I mean, I do sometimes question the timing of announcements. I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Fabrizio Romano. Jeremy Frimpong set to join you, Liverpool. Here we go. Agreement done for Dutch right back as Leverkusen are informed on 35 release clause being triggered. Understand Frimpong will sign a 5-year deal with medical now being scheduled. New right back for Liverpool. So agreement done for Dutch right back as the release clause has been triggered. He's set to join Liverpool, and it is a here we go on Frimpong. Very good signing for Liverpool, by the way. Very good signing for Liverpool. Not going to dispute it. Love to have seen him at Manchester United. I think many of us would, but it's just not the level of striker, not the level of player that Man United are going to get. And for me, I think the minute that Alexander-Arnold left Liverpool, it was probably a very obvious target to go for, and probably the right target to go for. So yeah, very good signing. Alex, I know the scoreboard's broken. That's why I spoke about it 5 minutes ago, and I said we're trying to fix it. But thank you for stating the obvious. It really helps. I'm a member on United Stand and can't send my monthly subscription in the chat, and I can't send super chats, but I can on here. Any fix is Charlie. Unfortunately, Charlie, I wish I could help you, but I do not work for YouTube. So I think they're very unlikely to give me access to the back system of YouTube to see what's going on with your account today. Fraz says, how's the hip? Absolute agony. Absolute agony. I don't really understand what it is, but it's killing me. So I don't know what the next step really is with that, because I'm terrible at just resting up. Cross came in from Man City. That's gone out for a corner. Right, let me get this cross coming in. De Bruyne. I mean, it's a good effort by Haaland. It's a good effort by Haaland on the stretch. And Henderson makes a good save. He will want to score early, Man City, because Palace, the longer they keep the clean sheet, the more effective they are on the counter. But if you can score early, it sort of destroys what Palace's plan is. Right. Let me close that. Right, we should have a scorecard coming up now. There we go. That's a bit odd. Oh, I know why. What? Oh, I know. Oh, this is killing me. You're killing me. What's going on? Oh, I'm not in the mood for this. I shouldn't have to be fucking producing my own shows here when trying to do a watch-along. I mean, I'm very tired of this. Happened yesterday as well. I'm in pain. I shouldn't have to do this. I bet King Charles doesn't have to wipe his own arse. I shouldn't have to be doing my own bloody production. Right, they're in the wrong place as well now. Right, that's just going to have to do. I can't be arsed. It's 0-0. The fact that Dorgu's price valuation is close to Frimpong shows how bad Man United negotiations really on. One is experienced and one is still green, says Nigel. Well, to be fair, 35 million is not 20, is it? Let's be fair. I'm a member. I've done that one. Appreciate that. I have a thoughtful question for you. For the final, if you can choose 2 United players to be an 8 out of 10 on the night, which 2 players do you go for? I think Bruno Fernandes being an 8 out of 10 and Ahmad being an 8 out of 10 probably wins us the game. But I think it's a very intelligent question, Jar Bar Drinks. If you had to pick 2 players to be 8 out of 10 on Wednesday and the rest of them are like 6 average, which 2 players would guarantee you winning the game? I think Bruno and Ahmad. Yeah, good idea about Anana. I think it's not a bad shout. Cow collagen powder will help your hip massively, says Fart Smeller. You're not the first person to say that. I have a thoughtful question for you. I've done that one from Jar Bar Drinks. And Goldio says, Agony Bridge, 2 weeks ago, I finally bought myself my dream car. Unfortunately, my girlfriend crashed it. Should I break up with her? I think you've answered your own question there. When you say she crashed it, I mean, if someone goes into her, it's not really her fault. Good tackle by Wharton. Now Mateta. That looked like it was very late. Referee. Oh, the ref shit. Stuart Prattwell at it again. They've got another referee playing for City here. That looked like an absolute stone wall foul, and he's played on. I mean, you know what? I do not want to spend this game moaning about referees, but I don't know what they see. I don't know what they see in a game. Dream signing, 50 million. Who is it? Says Max. For Manchester United, well, Cunha is the one that I want. If not, Gyökeres. Frimpong to Liverpool, here we go, says Ilya. Slow sport snooze there from Ilya. Haven't even shown the replay. They haven't even shown the replay of the foul on the Palace player. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm gonna rewind it and have a look at it. Disgusting, isn't it? I think the FA coverage, Henderson with a big say. I think the FA coverage this season of replays has been shocking. Here we go. I mean, I'm having to watch this on a replay from a long camera angle. Anana and Bruno, 8 out of 10, says Ali. Here we go. So it goes into Sarr. To be fair, it should have been a foul. Be careful with your hip, mate, says Jake. Kyle, my hip mate had a problem with his hip and the week after he pooped himself on the bus. Can we get a poll for who wins, please, Mark, says Tom Grant. Yes, pal. There you go. Dean says, hi Mark, hope all is well. Liverpool lose a right back, then get a replacement. United lose a left back and buy every position beside a left back and play half a season before bringing one in. Blows the mind, says Dean. Thank you very much. There we go. Yeah, Frimpong to Liverpool is a here we go in the last few minutes from Fabrizio. So, I mean, look, we've been talking about it quite a lot this week anyway. So it's not a surprise and it's a really good signing. Still 0-0 here, though, after... Just coming up for 13 minutes. Man City have had a couple of chances, but Palace holding firm at the moment. It's a good cross. Oh, I'll tell you what. I don't know whether Sabio should have got on that. Should United sign Eze and Solanke, says Rajaf. Why would we want Solanke? Good defending there. It was good defending by Mitchell. How is one channel ahead of the other on TV? 13, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, BBC is ahead of ITV. Good spot there. Thank you, Danny Lee. Rob says he was diagnosed with arthritis. Mate, it's him really... I'm going to the doctors this week. It really is hurting. It's just a joke. The worst possible time. You doing any other watch-alongs this weekend? Yes. Newcastle at Arsenal tomorrow. I think it's a big game, isn't it, in the race for top 5. Villa and Chelsea both winning yesterday. So it puts a little bit of pressure on Newcastle. Makes it very difficult for Forest to join that race now, but I think it's all going to come down to that last game of the season, isn't it? I mean, if you look at the league table and how it stands at the moment, even if Forest were to win their last game, it doesn't really help them out massively. They'd go up to 65. Well, no, if they were to win 65 points, and then beat Chelsea, they'd go above Chelsea. So they've still got a slim chance, to be fair. I don't think they're going to beat West Ham, though. They play West Ham tomorrow, don't they? Is it a cracking game? It's very much a typical Crystal Palace performance. They've not really done anything in the attacking sense yet. Lunzi says, if you could steal one player from each team, who would you go for? Good question. Rodri's not fit, so I can't take him. I would take, from Crystal Palace, I probably would take Wharton, if I'm being honest. I know Eze's popular, and I get it, but I think I would take Wharton. And then from Manchester City, I'd take Erling Haaland. It's just obvious, isn't it? United need a striker. Palace on the break. Goal! Crystal Palace, they've done it on the break again. Oh, I tell you what. They are the best breakaway team I've seen this season. It's just so effective. One break, one goal. It's as simple as that. They should be sponsored by Kit Kat. What a break. Absolutely brilliant. Have a break. Have a Crystal Palace. Absolutely brilliant. 1-0, and it's Eze. And he's got number 10 on his back, which actually means 1-0, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't, but you know what? You know what I'm saying. I've got to change the score myself, which is just annoying. But can I put a 1 in there? Thank you very much. There we go. 1-0 Crystal Palace. It's a lovely breakaway down the right-hand side. Cross comes in, and he takes it so well. I think Muniz quality down the right-hand side as well. But I think the thing about Palace this season is it's just how efficient they are on the break. I mean, that's their first chance. Takes it so well. And now they've got something to hold on to. And we all like that. Perfect for the game. Absolutely perfect for the game. The underdog in front. But also the way that they've set themselves up. For the way that Palace want to do this, they won't change. They will just keep defending and counter-attacking, and City have to now, obviously, attack more, which could leave more at the break. But as I said, Man City are not 1-0 in front. As I said, sorry if anybody's not actually aware that I've messed up there. As I said, like. The big thing about Crystal Palace is it's one thing to want to break away. It's another thing to be able to break away. And they are just so good at it. And that's a testament not just to their defenders, but to their attackers as well. I think in that their conversion rate in that Crystal Palace side must be immense because they are just so good at taking their chances. Yogi Bear says scoreboard. Palace should see this as a chance for Champions League, says Rajaf. Surely everyone on the football world wants Crystal Palace to win, says Beans on Toast. Thank you very much for that. The Muniz is a good player. Watched him a lot. He creates a lot of chances on the counter, says Nigel. Pep's asking the owners to pay Eze's release clause as we speak. We might get a here we go as he's lifting the trophy, says Tanishk. Wharton under pressure, loses it in a difficult place, but well done. Good play. Well done again. Palace looking to activate breakaway mode, and they are breaking away again. Here it is with Eze down that left-hand side. It's a terrible pass, but he gets it back. Goes wide. Muniz again. Good cross. Mateta! Oh, again. They force a good save. It wasn't Mateta, it was Sarr, sorry. When is Fab back on the United stand? Hope they get better. The hip gets better. Alex, I don't think we'll be having Fabrizio back on because I mean, it was I love Fabrizio and having him on was great, but there's just not really a hell of a massive amount of point in doing it because he does so much content. We're never going to get the here we go on the United stand or exclusive content, are we? Because he does about 6 updates a day, and it does cost money, so it just doesn't make that much sense for me, completely honest. But Eze has been under talked about, says Brian. I don't know. I think Eze's a very good player. Jason Marsh says, my friend had a hip problem. 2 days later, his scoreboard stopped working. So this cup final has come alive here in the first 20 minutes. Crystal Palace in front. Man City now are going to have to react. Jim Bridge is making cuts. Shocking news here from Wed. My husband crapped his pants in a taxi in Vienna. Sam Tor says, did you hear about Frimpong? Here we go. No, mate, didn't. I did. Why is Kevin De Bruyne playing in the midfield? Which is a very good point there. It whizzed by, but it was from Marvin. Why is he playing De Bruyne and Bernardo in a double pivot? I think what he's trying to do, Marvin, is be a hipster. And 69% say Palace are going to win. I'm going to end the poll there because we've had a goal. He's trying to dominate possession, isn't he? Because he knows he's going to have about 70% possession. Well, he's got 83% possession, so he's got even more than that. Liverpool are so efficient. Bradley New Deal as well, says Illy. Would you take Mateta at United? Yeah, well, off the post, I got asked this question the other day. Who would you rather have up front for Man United, Rasmus or Nicholas Jackson? And I still do believe there's a player in Rasmus Højlund, and I still hope that one day we will see it in a Man United shirt. But you also have to be honest. Nicholas Jackson at United for the Europa League final would be more of an asset. So, of course, I would take Mateta. Random United question, but why can't we sign Alvaro back instead of letting him go to Madrid? He's arguably been Benfica's best player and we have a cheap buyback clause. He doesn't want to come, Omar. Chris Brown's been locked up in Manchester, says Brian Dale. What's all this Chris Brown stuff? Yeah, good day for Liverpool fans. And they're on the break again, Crystal Palace. That needed to go a lot quicker into Muniz. He's got it again down the right-hand side. It's an interesting cross. It will find its way to Eze. Palace are starting to get a few more breakaways now. They've played the game. They've got to game manage this now. Second goal would be a killer. This is, at the moment, going the same way as the Villa game. In the semi-final. But it's Man City on the break. That's gone. Hey, we're back. We're back again. We've got the proper scoreboard back now. Don't have to do it myself. What's for tea? I'm going to have a Indian takeaway. What are you going to have? Why is someone loading up the United stand? What's going on? Manchester United news. It's Matt. It's Matt the Pratt. Matt the Pratt admin. He'll be watching. Don't worry about that. No, it's Matt. P45 as I call him now. You're fired. No, he's going to fix it now. There we go. We're back. Oh, the referee wants a drink of water. We're back. Don't forget Manscaped, 20% off with the code footy. Do you think Phil Foden and Cole Palmer have early burnouts, says Jason Marsh? I don't really understand why... what are they looking at here? Dean Henderson getting sent off. When Palace wins this, that means 7th in the Premier League, gets Conference League football, says Danny Lee. Oh, they're trying to say, did Dean Henderson handle the ball? I tell you what, I don't think there's a camera to prove it. I tell you what, that is really hard. How is... I just don't think they've got the camera. They won't have a camera that's looking down the line. That's what it will be. Referee's gone all Palace here. He's now not giving fouls. So basically what happens is ball's coming towards Henderson. He's waiting for it to come to the box. Haaland comes racing through, knocks the ball past Henderson, who as it goes past puts his hand on it to flip it away. But it looks like he's outside the box. But they can't do anything about it because they won't have a camera angle. I actually feel a little bit, well, I don't know whether I'd go as far as saying I feel bad for City, but I also want to be fair here. And I have said it many, many times before that when it comes to the PGMOL, it doesn't matter who I support. I've said it for Liverpool, I've said it for Arsenal. That to me looked like a shocking decision. Let's have a poll on it. Should it have been a red? I mean, I don't want to see a red in the final, but I have to be fair. That's not an excuse. Just because I want Palace to beat Man City and I don't want to see a red card, unfortunately, it's a little bit like the sending off in the Man United game in the first leg against Bilbao. The rules are, if there's no attempt to get the ball and you foul someone in the box, it's a red. So I think the only explanation I can think of is they don't have a camera angle looking down the penalty box to say he's handled it outside the box. Which, unfortunately, that could be against your team. And if you're a City fan, you'd be bloody fuming that in the FA Cup final at Wembley, there's not a camera looking down the line of the penalty box. But I don't think there is one. And I think that's why you can't do it. That's why you can't give it. Keeper made the first contact. I think you're missing the point. If he made the contact with his handball, he's outside the box. That's what people are saying. He's going away from the goal. Zach, no one's saying it was a foul. If a goalkeeper handles the ball outside of the box, then he didn't even give a foul, did he? Oh, sorry, I missed the replay. So they showed it and he was outside the box. No, Dale says he was in the box. So what's the justification for it not being a free kick then? City hold on a minute, I've just lost my live chat. I was wondering, are you still looking to recruit people for the United stand, says Harrison. I would love to work for the channel doing live content, says Harrison. Thank you very much, Harrison. Just send us a video to that'sfootballmedia@gmail.com, pal. There's the goal from Ezzy. Moving away from goal, defender covering, they said. But that doesn't make any... What's the definitive rule on a goalkeeper deliberately handling the ball outside the box? I'd have to see it again at half-time. Let me look at it at half-time because we're only about 15... This 15 minutes? 15 minutes? I feel like I've been stood here for an hour. How have we only had half an hour? It's our longest game ever. Anyway, game over, says Max. Mark, just an update. The QR says 15%, not 20% for Manscaped. It's definitely 20%, mate. Thank you very much, Dean. What's the most Newcastle could achieve next season, says Shady. Champions League qualification, I think, again. Danny says, if Palace win, that means 7th in the Premier League gets Conference League football. Which would be Forest, wouldn't it? No European football for Fulham, Bournemouth or Brighton as well. If Palace win. Get rid of it. Oh, God, Henderson's got hold of that. Not a goal-scoring opportunity. VAR's a joke, says Mr. Perfect. Theo says they showed a clear angle, but you weren't looking. Sorry. Blade says, shut up moaning. Man City have been cheating English football for 10 years. I think they can live with one decision. Mr. Perfecto says, not a goal-scoring opportunity. VAR is a joke. I think VAR is saying that Haaland's touch took himself away from goal, so it's not a clear goal-scoring opportunity when he handballed it, says Shane. We'd have to look at the letter of the rules, wouldn't we? I think if he's the last man... Look, I'll refer to the replay at half time. Check out these stats though. 81% possession for Manchester City, and they've had the same amount of shots on target. And I still think that the Palace will be able to have counters here. Brian says, free breezy. Lachlan says, a shocking decision against City. What's happening? Nicholas McCrory says, moving away from goal, defender covering, they said. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So basically, Let's Talk Football has messaged me on X saying they haven't gone back for a free kick because they can only review if it should have been a red card. Penalty given here. Man City have swarmed. I mean, Henderson definitely handballs it. That's a 100% penalty, that. 100% penalty, that. You can't moan about that one. What is he doing and why? It's just low IQ defending. May as well call that Mitchell Ned Stark. That's a head loss. I mean, Silva's going nowhere. Nowhere. And he slides in like that. Oh, I don't blame Bernardo Silva. He's absolutely spot on. It's just stupid defending. Stupid defending. And the more you look at it, the more you go, why? Look, what's he doing? He does get the ball. Touches the ball. Got the ball. Got the ball. Not a penalty for me. What? They've given it? How have they given that? He got the ball. He gets the ball. I've got to look at this again. How have they given that? How have they given that? He does get the ball. Oh my God, this is crazy. Well, look, unless there's an... Look, sometimes angles can be deceiving, but he clearly... It looks like he gets the ball. I mean, it's just, you know what? It's still a stupid tackle by Mitchell. He shouldn't do it because Bernardo Silva's going away from goal. But oh God, this game's all over the place. Anyway, Mamouche to make it 1-1. Palace is still going to be in the game anyway. It's the VAR final here. It's all over the place, and he saves it. Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson. Justice. Justice. Absolute justice. Put that on your toast. Justice. Jam on toast for Palace. Absolute justice, that. Take that, VAR, and shove it up your arse. Brilliant save. Tell you what, it's a good save as well because it's a good penalty. Look how low down he goes. Good penalty, good save. Yes. The ball don't lie, says Miles. Wow. I tell you what, Dave Besant. It's got Wimbledon, Liverpool vibes. 1988 freestyle. Dave Besant made a big save as well as the underdog. I need to look at this on the replay. Sorry, I am going back. Let me have a look at this. It's hard to see from here. I just don't know. If he gets a touch on this ball, I don't know in a million years. Silva deserves an Oscar, says Aaron. But how can VA1? How can VAR? He gets the bloody ball. How can VAR? How can you give the foul? I just don't know. I need to watch. This is poor. I have to watch it again. Does he get the player before he gets the ball? No, because his other foot... No, it's just not a penalty. No, he gets the ball. It's a shocking decision. Absolutely shocking. I'm sorry. You will never see a more justified and justice-driven penalty save in an FA Cup final because... I'm telling you now, watch that back. I've watched it back a few times on replay. There is no contact with the player before he clips the ball. And he gets the ball. It's a thin touch. Should it have been a red for Henderson? 50-50 at the moment. But Mamouche misses the penalty. But I'm telling you what, watch that tackle by Mitchell. It's silly, it's dangerous, it's reckless, but he does actually get the ball. The faintest of touches. And I think if you get the ball, how can it be a foul? In that circumstance, it's not a two-footed dangerous tackle, is it? It's an attempt to win the ball, and he does. VAR should be fined for every mistake they make. That was disgusting, to be honest with you. Send Onana to Palace and Henderson back to the Devils, says Howder. Does United have a buyback clause for Henderson, says Pengers. Get Dean back to United, says Tisardi. The ball don't lie, Mark, says Mike K. And Aaron says Silva deserves an Oscar for that. +1 for collagen, mate, says Curious Watchman. How long can the UK hold Chris Brown? Brian Dale is obsessed with Chris Brown. I don't even know what the story's about. Ticket bought for Mission Impossible later tonight, says Rub. What's your opinion on Glasner as a coach? Says Satir. It's not my style of football, really. I don't think if you were a Liverpool fan or an Arsenal fan, you'd be over the moon with a team that just sits and defends and counters. But I think for a team like Crystal Palace, it works really well. You know you're always going to be an underdog, so why shouldn't you play a brand of football that makes you hard to beat and effective on the break? So I think it's a really good fit. Not sure if you've seen Frimpong to Liverpool. Here we go, says Goldio. You are sure? You know I have. They 100% gave it because the ref made a lot of decisions prior in favour of Palace. It's disgraceful, says Jimmy. VAR said he didn't get a touch on the ball. Watch. He definitely did. Definitely did. When's FC 25 coming back, Mark, says Sean. Honestly, one of the big reasons I don't want to go back to doing it is the replays when they do the player cam. It makes me get like really bad travel sickness. So I don't really have an urge to start playing a computer game that's going to make me feel sick every time I play it. So I had to stop playing Resident Evil for the same thing. There should be a VAR for VAR, says Stephen. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Got nearly 20,000 watching. It's not been a vintage final in the sense of play style, but we've had a couple of contentious things they'll be looking at half-time. Should Dean Henderson have been sent off? should it have been a penalty? Well, it doesn't matter because justice was served. But Man City might quite rightly say he shouldn't have been on the pitch to save it in the first place. So we have two very big decisions. Mateta, strong, needs some help. De Bruyne, can't tackle him. And yeah, that break for Palace is still going to be on every day. Why did Mamouche take the penalty instead of Haaland anyway? Who do I want to win? Palace, yeah. I have 80% of the ball on a Messi to beat. Who am I? That doesn't even make any sense, Dexter. I have 80% of the ball on a Messi to beat. Who am I? I don't know. I don't understand the point of the question. You've lost me. Feels like a very long half. Certainly lots and lots to talk about. Good save, Henderson. Can he get there? Good defending. They're still in there, City. Good defending again. De Bruyne over the bar. Whoa, I tell you what, though. You can say what you like about defending, and Palace certainly do defend well, but they're going to need a little bit of luck, and they certainly get it here. Doku with the shot. Good save by Henderson. It's up in the air. And, I mean, you'd expect Erling Haaland to win that. He must just not be in a good position to go and win it. Yeah, he can't get there quick enough, really. Mamouche probably gets in his way. Got a minute and a half to half time. I think Mateta's miles offside there, yeah. Why is he not going to book Mateta, Bernardo Silva for that? Show us the replay. Show us the replay. It's only a little shove, isn't it? Not really much in it. Banana bread or poppy seed bread, says Swag Dad in Baghdad. I'd say banana bread. What's your favourite soup and do you add bread or toast, says Jason. I mean, toast is a nice concept with soup, but I'd have to say a good bread, preferably homemade with some good butter on it and a nice... My favourite soup is probably the... I'll tell you what, it's getting a bit tasty out there at the moment. Another 2 Palace players going down here. My favourite soup, I mentioned it before, they sell it at Sainsbury's. It's cauliflower tikka masala or something like that. Very nice. Yeah, De Bruyne should have been booked for that. Absolutely should have been booked. Not even booked him. Absolute stinker. How's he not booked, De Bruyne then? Purposely takes Eze out. Did he get a booking? I mean, he literally just went straight into Eze. Probably offered to give the referee his shirt or something, hasn't he? Let's be honest. Well, half-time is not going to be talking about the chances, is it? It's not going to be talking about the Palace goal. We're going to be talking about the dodgy decisions again, which is a shame. Thomas Dyson, thanks for your super chat. Appreciate that. I'd love Mateta at United. He's a beast, says Kev Ashton. I'm not doing a watch-along for the Eurovision, Harry. Gazpacho is the cold tomato soup, isn't it? Mrs. Goldbridge really likes it. Not for me. Soup should not be cold. Just get to half-time, Palace. Oh, get rid of it. That's it. Well done. This screams of penalties. Hope you're great, Mark, says Mixter. City probably won't want penalties. They've got a big game against Bournemouth on Tuesday, haven't they? I mean, look, there's a long way to go, but City finishing the season potless would be awful for them, wouldn't it? We'll be talking about the potential red card on Henderson at half-time. I really do. I really just need to see it again with fresh eyes. I don't think it should have been a penalty. I think Mitchell gets enough of the ball. "48 minutes. And that is half-time. Right, I am going to get my chair. Ooh. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get involved with That's Football. It's 1-0 to Crystal Palace at half-time here. And it's probably about fair, really. We're going to see the half-time replays coming in. But, yeah, look, very good breakaway goal from Crystal Palace, as they've done a lot of the time through this cup campaign. Am I right in saying that Crystal Palace haven't conceded a goal in the quarter-final, the semi-final or the final? In 2.5 games, they've not conceded a goal in the FA Cup. So, and it might be longer than that, to be fair. But it's all going to come down to these replays here. Let's first have a look at the Dean Henderson incident. I don't want Dean Henderson to be sent off. I think it's terrible for a final to have 10 men anyway. And I also think that, obviously, I don't want Manchester City to win. But also, we have to be fair. We have to be fair on this. And I need to see it again just to get my head around what's gone on here. As we know, Dean Henderson is waiting for that ball to come back to him in the box so he can pick it up. Erling Haaland gets there first. He then flicks it with his hand outside the box. It definitely should have been a foul. It definitely should have been called as a free kick. The referee didn't call it as a free kick because he can't see he's outside his box. So therefore, the only thing that can be reviewed is whether it's a red card. And they're saying it's not a red card because it's not a goal-scoring opportunity. That's my understanding. So we will see in a moment. Here we go. Oh, no. They'll come. This is apologies here in the UK. We have absolutely shit producers working on mainstream coverage who decide that it's better to show chances that Man City didn't score rather than the big talking points that everybody wants to see. They're sort of stuck in the 80s, really. They still show you replays like you want to watch it chronologically, whereas I think in the modern day, people don't want chronological. They want order of hype. So we should be looking at the biggest two issues in the game, which was the potential red card and the dodgy penalty. Instead, we're looking at chances for Man City because that's how shit the modern day mainstream is at showing you football. So we will come back to that when they show it. If you want to return to FC25, you can turn off the point of view cam in the game settings and then visuals and the hype motion insight settings and the turn off, and you can play without being sick. We've tried to do this, Scott Kenny, and it didn't work though. Honestly, we have tried to do it. Sean says, hi, Mark. Your friend John, whose wife left him, is supporting Man City. He would be a Man City fan, Sean. In fact, he's even worse than a Man City fan. He doesn't even like football. He's only one step below. Okay. Let's come on, just show us the replays. But look, in the context of the game, Manchester City have had 81% possession, 19 possession for Palace. That doesn't surprise me. Palace beat Villa 3-0 in the semi-finals with 30% possession. They're very effective on the counter. They're just showing the goal here from Eze. They're just very efficient on the counter. They've got to be the best counter-attacking team in the Premier League. Because if you're going to soak up pressure like they do, you're not going to get that many chances. You have to take them when you get them. And this ain't an easy chance for Eze, but it's smooth. It's in the bottom corner. The keeper can't save it. And it's efficient. And it's a massive outlet for a defence that obviously has to work really, really hard. Love a team winning without possession, says San. Gary says Haaland's touch took the ball away from the keeper. That's why it wasn't a red card. Still haven't shown it. Still showing chances. Scott, I am going to try what you've said. I've copied and pasted it. And I will try it on EAFC 25, but I'm sure we did try it before. Here it is. They're finally showing it. Well, he is going away from goal. Definitely handballs it. You know what, though? Can I just drop the mic here? If he doesn't handball it, Haaland's not going away from goal. So, does that not defeat the purpose? The fact it's Dean Henderson handballing it that forces him to go away from goal. I think it's a red. I do. I don't want it to be a red, but I think it is a red because if Dean Henderson doesn't use his hand, then he probably ends up getting sent off for a foul. He probably clatters into him. If he doesn't use his hand, I think Haaland continues straight and definitely gets a shot on goal. If he doesn't use his hand, he might end up fouling him. And by using his hand, he makes the ball go away from goal. So I think that's my justification. I realise that the ball's going away from goal, but that's because Henderson palms it that way. If he doesn't touch the ball, then I think Haaland would have been moving straight into the penalty box. So I think it should have been a red card, but it's definitely not a penalty for me. Look at the ball. Definitely gets the ball. Definitely touches the ball, Mitchell. So I don't know why this gets given. You can see on every angle, he does get the ball. And therefore, it shouldn't be a penalty. Thoughts on the new Premier League rule for next season that only the captain can speak to the referee in key moments? Dean, I thought we already had that rule, to be honest with you. So that's news to me because I actually thought we already had it. Just cheer for Crystal Palace, says Rub. I remember leaving a comment in November that Everton would finish above United and everyone laughed at me. Can I just say I absolutely called it, says Dance. Fair play. Well done. Can you shout out my dad, Colin Campbell, says Louis. Shout out to your dad there, Colin. And thank you very much to Scott Kenny as well. We've read that about EFC 25. Man City in crisis is Ladios. Rooney says it's a red. Hey, I'm sure Wayne Rooney doesn't want Man City to win the cup final. I certainly don't want Man City to win the cup final. But I also have to be fair. I absolutely think that's a red card. And if it happened to Man United on Wednesday and Vicario didn't get sent off, the connotations of that, I'd be absolutely fuming. You can't say that he's going away from goal when it's Henderson that handballs the ball away from goal. It's got to be a red, in my opinion, because He's going to knock it past Henderson and get a shot on goal, which would be empty. So I think it's a red. But it wasn't a penalty for Man City, so you could say, has it equalled itself out? Probably not, because Man City would be playing against 10 men. There we go. I'm an Arsenal fan, but my first ever game was at Palace as a ball boy. I've always had a soft spot for them. Bring it home, Eagles. The Scars music. Appreciate that. How does this impact the Europe spots, or if Palace wins, says Ryan? So, good question. We can answer that. And effectively, what it would mean is that Crystal Palace would take the final Europa League spot. Therefore, we wouldn't go down to 8th. It would go down to 7th. So, Brighton and Bournemouth and Brentford would be playing for nothing. Yeah, they'd be playing for nothing. They wouldn't be. There's no way they could get into Europe because it would only go down to 7th. So at the moment, if Crystal Palace win, Forest would be in the Conference League. Man City obviously have got a game in hand, but they would be in the Europa League, and Villa, Chelsea would go into the Champions League with Newcastle, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Can you make Seared something for next Cooking with Goldbridge? Need a tutorial vid so I can make a good date night for the lady. I've never heard of it, CCM. I'd have to look up on that one. Appreciate that. Yeah, De Bruyne should have had a yellow card as well. I think in general, both sides can feel slightly aggrieved. And I think it's fair to say that we've spent most of the half talking about officiating again, because the officiating in the Premier League is absolutely abysmal. How hard is it to get these decisions right as well? It shouldn't have been a penalty. It should have been a red card. De Bruyne should have had a yellow card. They've got all of them wrong. And God knows what else. It's incredible, really, that's the standard of officiating in the Premier League at the moment. But there you go. Palace need the second goal, says Dougie. Oh, could be a cup of tea coming in. Oh, God. I don't know whether it's my hip, but I'm actually starting to feel a bit nauseous. I do not like feeling nauseous, especially when I want an Indian takeaway for my tea. What are your standout players from any team in the Premier League this season, Mark? Obviously, Salah's had a good season, Dean. Van Dijk, Isak, McAllister. They would be my 4 standout players, if I'm being honest. Happy Saturday, says Ruben. Squid says it's funny to see the 115 cheats crying. I wonder when we're actually going to find out what's going to happen with that. Chunky says, what are you having had for tea tonight? I haven't had it yet. I will be on the United stand at 8 o'clock. Hopefully I will. I'm starting to feel a little bit, but I'll be all right. I will be all right. Yes, Dan, man, there is an 8 o'clock show on the United stand. You do drink a lot of alcohol. I haven't had an alcoholic drink for, well, I did have 1 beer last night, to be fair. Aidan says, the sitting back counter-attack football is boring. Well, in a sense, I think that Manchester City are boring. I think side-to-side football with 80% possession is boring. And I think that as much as Forest are really crap at the end of this season because they've been sort of figured out, it has been quite nice seeing Palace and Forest sort of offer up something a little bit Stoke in a way. I'm not saying they're like Stoke, but Stoke and Bolton without Allardyce as well, they had a very distinctive way of playing that was sort of an antidote to, you know, a Wenger or a Sir Alex or whatever. So, I think the big problem in the Premier League at the moment is that there are so many teams that are playing out from the back and trying to copy this Pep Guardiola brand of football. And, you know, all right, Crystal Palace aren't a great side to watch, but they deserve to be in the final. They're beating Man City here, and they deserve to beat Villa in the semi-final. And what would you have Crystal Palace do? Turn up into the final and try and play open football? They'd get battered. So you've got to have a counter argument. I mean, Inter Milan winning the Champions League with Jose, it was a little bit boring, but it was effective. Look, my favourite brand of football at the moment would be somebody like Barcelona or PSG. Wide players, you know, high intensity, move the ball around, switch the play from one side to another. It's good. Look, Palace, when Palace attack, they're a good team to watch. They break at speed. They put crosses in the box. They score good goals. But obviously, it's built on a very strong defence and a counter attack. Yeah, definitely. When is the championship? When is the playoff final? Jose. I've just had a message from one of my mates. His stupid sniffer dog wants a shout out. Basically, he's trying to train it to be a sniffer dog, but it's so stupid that it couldn't sniff its own farts. But apparently, it wants a shout out. So there it is. Jose winning Champions League with Inter is one of football's greatest achievements. Not boring, Mark. Yeah, but Rub, we all wanted, well, most of us did want them to win, but it wasn't great to watch, was it? Pratt Gate on TV. Yeah, I was reading the chat. Players are coming out now. Yeah, so for me, should have been a red card. Wasn't given. And shouldn't have been a penalty. But obviously, I think it's fair to say that the penalty would have been very impactful on Crystal Palace. Right, let's get this second half up and running. Had a few technical issues today, but we look like we're okay now. Look at the empty seats. Corporate quaffing, champagne, prawn sandwich twats. Let's go to... Well, they won't even be Palace or Man City fans. They'll just be Club Wembley. Let's just go and have a good day out. Yeah, we'll get hammered and head into the West End. You're not welcome in football. How many poppadoms would you normally get for a family of 5? I'd say 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll do. Okay, we're up and running here. How many of your mates just give you banter on the channels, says Dean? I've got quite a few. It's relentless, really. I've got about 6 friends. Jose winning the chat. I've done that one as well. Henderson's handball incident reminded me of Vardiel's howler against us last season in the FA Cup final, where Garnacho scored the opener. It was a long ball and it dropped in the same position. Palace, again, riding their luck, but they have a bit of a chance to break. Mateta loses it. You've got to move quick on the break. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you share the video, subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Good play here by Palace. Very good play. Flip him in. Oh, there's another foul off the ball on Eze. You've got to start booking these players. How many times? Marky, who's your least favourite United player ever, says CCM. It'd have to be someone like Di Maria, wouldn't it? Here's Savio down the wing. Done well. Done very well. Oh, good cross. And you've got to question where Haaland and Mamouche are there. He's done really well there, Savinho. Danny says, get me a Jalfrezi. I'll be round later with 5 litres of Lambrusco. Lambrusco. We always used to drink that at Christmas down my grandparents at Christmas. They'd all be in the kitchen. They'd leave it on the table. We'd all have a good old sip. It was very sweet. Yeah. How did Southgate get knighted when he won sod all, says Bear Marchant. Welcome to the UK. Work hard, pay your taxes, and then watch people freeload. Is Everton's new stadium named the worst ever? Remind me what the name is, Richard. It is true. Come to the UK, work hard, succeed, pay your taxes, and then watch absolute prats get rewarded. Might be the same. Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yeah, that is probably the worst Premier League stadium name. Hill Dickinson. It sounds like something from early Pro Evo, where they couldn't have the proper names. Red Brick Stadium, you know, instead of Old Trafford and stuff like that. David Dickinson Stadium, says Paul. They might as well call themselves Dixon Cider. We're sponsored by Dixon Cider. Etihad is bad. Yeah, but it ain't as bad as that. That's awful. But then again, if Everton are getting the money... How much have Hill Dickinson paid for it? That's the big question. Ba-da-ba-ba. So 5 minutes of the half. Not had any subs, no. Good cross into the box. Got to be a goal. Ezzy, good block. Oh, could have been a goal, that. Ezzy puts his hands to his head. That won't make it be a goal. It's a good block. Guehi went down. Won't be getting anything for that. Pep's looking a bit dejected. What's your favourite naan? I'm just looking at naans. Garlic naan, cheese and onion naan, plain naan. Garlic, chilli and... I don't like coriander. Keema naan's nice, but you don't want 2 bits of meat. Well, some people do on a Saturday night. So what, the good news is that that cup of tea has sorted me out. Player down injured here, Guehi. Should have been a penalty for me. Why do they keep showing Southgate? It's almost like a bloody... What's he sponsored by? LinkedIn. I'm Gareth Southgate. I used to be England manager. I got a knighthood and I wear nice waistcoats. I'm available. Ow. I think, you know what's making me feel nauseous? It's the hip. Oh, God. I'm in trouble. Oh, if you want to watch the FA Cup final highlights, it's on at 12:30 tonight. I'd be very bored to do that. I'm with it. I will not be watching the FA Cup highlights. Thank you very much. One viewing's enough. Will you do the Nations League semis and final next month as a Toro? I guess we'll see. I forgot. I forgot there was internationals to deal with as well. Peshwari 9's the best by the chat. Dino's bought his cat back, says Asif's. Frimpong got the here we go, says Skipper. Slow Sports News. Nick P says the Everton Stadium sounds like it was named by someone in the chat trying to catch you out for meme purposes. Shane B is not Bramley Moore. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to have a look in a minute. This is interesting in the sense that I just wonder how much... If you're Everton, you'd want to get as much money as you can, but how much do you get? Probably about 5 million for name stadium rights. I mean, they're not... It's not like, you know, it's not like Arsenal, is it? Take the time to make some... Lovely ball. Lovely ball. Headed away. Remember the Southgate Peloton joke, says Reed Go. I think it was something to do with... Yeah, I can't remember. I tried to forget about Southgate, to be honest. I feel like Man City are going to equalise here. What's the Saturday night show all about? Oh, he wears a helmet on a Peloton. That was it, Blue Ninja, yeah. Wears his swimming trunks in the bath. I mean, I've got a bit of a rude one. He has an STD jab after having a wank on Pornhub. We'll leave it at that. Don't like seeing Southgate in the wild. He's like an old boyfriend of your wife's, still sniffing around and waiting for you to fail so he can jump back in, says Nick P. I don't think United will ever go anywhere near Southgate. I think that was Ashworth, who is now back working for the FA, isn't he? I don't know. The thing about Southgate is he's been out of a job for a year now. And I don't really know who would be stupid enough to give him one. Everton get 10 million for the next 4 years from the name. 10 million for 4 years, a Toro. So they get £2.5 million a year to have a crap stadium name. I'd say forget it. Southgate wears oven gloves to make a cup of tea, says Joey. Oh, it's 10 million a year. That's not too bad, 40 million. Yeah, look, if that's the best offer on the table. I mean, look, if someone, let's put it into context. If somebody was giving me £1 million a year to wear a t-shirt on a stream saying I'm a prat, I'd do it. At the end of the day, people will go, ha, he's wearing a t-shirt saying he's a prat, but I'd be going, yeah, I'm a right prat, aren't I? I'm getting £1 million a year. And where's the lie, says GSS. Yeah, you see, you've got to be able to laugh at yourself. Goal, Palace! 2-0! If I could stand up, I would, but my hip's in agony. And it's Munoz as well, without doubt. The people's thinking hipsters man of the match. He's got the assist. He's got the goal. It's 2-0. And Pep Guardiola's season is disintegrating into absolute shite. Who are you? Who are you, you formerly best manager in the world? Is Lineker and co creaming their pants now? I don't think so. It's 2-0 to Palace. And there's a new boy in town. And it could well be third time lucky for Crystal Palace. 2000, Manchester United beat them. 2016, Manchester United beat them. 225. They're going to give this as offside. No, that should not be offside. There is no way that's offside. He is not impeding the goalkeeper at all. No way. Oh, it does hit him. Nah, it's offside. Offside. Bloody hell. They're so lucky. They're so lucky. He's offside. He has to be offside. He's interacted with he's interfered with play. Yeah, definitely going to be offside there. A promoted team got Southgate. Do they have a chance as who to blame? Yeah, I fail to see where Southgate would go, actually. I actually thought Crystal Palace, but Glasner's done such a good job. Why are we waiting? It's clearly offside. Can we get on with the game? Then again, with VAR, you never know. I mean, he's miles offside. Why are they taking so long? Why are you taking so long? It's been offside for bloody... Everybody knows. Yeah, they're finally giving it. I mean, the sad thing is how long it took. Oh! I'm not saying right is wrong. It's up for us to... Don't sing a Man City song, they'll win. An Oasis song. What's going on here? What's going on here? Come on then. What's going on there? Did you see that? Face to face. Do you want Sam? Do you want Sam? He's got his blue gloves on. He's bloody Southgate's mate. He's having a fight and he's put a pair of blue gloves on. Bloody hell, mate. I don't want to get any blood on me. Have that. Doctor's brawling. He's backed off. Doctor no. He didn't. Doctor no backbone. Dr. Spineless putting bloody blue gloves on for a fight. Dr. Bottle Job. I'm giving that to Palace on points. Dr. Palace. Do you want Sam? I'm Andy. I've got my blue gloves on. Oh, you wait while I get over there. Doctor Do Nothing, says Son of South. Exactly. Guehi's gone off. That's a bit of a blow. I do think that Pep's assistant looks like Kevin Keegan. I've always thought it. You never see Kevin Keegan and Pep's assistant in the same room. I've got a theory that basically it is Kevin Keegan with a foreign accent. I can see Man City getting back into this. It just feels like, look, the goal shouldn't have been given. It was offside. But it just feels like it's surely they're going to score at some point, City. I think they need the second goal. He put sunscreen on to turn the lights on, to CCM, talking about Southgate. It's amazing to me that Phil Foden can't get in a Man City side, though. City employees wearing plastic surprise, says Shane B. Who to blame says, if a promoted team got Southgate, do they have a chance of staying up? Nearly 20,000 watching, by the way. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Appreciate it. It's been a good, fun watch-along. I might look at these Nation League games, actually, because I do like watching a bit of football over the summer. I mean, I'm not going to do all of the Club World Cup because some of the games are at stupid o'clock and they're crap. But probably when it gets to the knockout stages, we probably will. We are very, very close to 330,000 subscribers on YouTube. 1.33, by the way. So please do subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Daily content on here. The Transfer Daily is back as well now, and we are doing Arsenal against Newcastle again tomorrow. So plenty of watch-along still to come. Obviously, the Premier League concludes soon. We'll have a final Premier League day watch-along, but we've also got Champions League, and I am going to do the Conference League as a final because it's Chelsea against Antony and Betis. So we'll be doing that a week on Wednesday. Europa League, of course, there can only be one place to watch that. It's the United stand. Although, if we lose, it could be the United... Not stand. Disintegration. Yeah. But thanks everyone who subscribed. Get involved with That's Football. You're very welcome. Everybody's welcome on here. Interesting final. Certainly, I think Man City, as much as I hate to say it, have had a bit of an injustice with the red card that maybe should have been given to Dean Henderson. I think it should have done. But then they did get a penalty that they missed that they shouldn't have had. Does that equal it out? Probably not. But it was still a gift of a penalty they shouldn't have got, and they missed it. Ian H. Drummer says, how did Seb get on today? We had a tournament today at Hampton FC, not far from you. I think he was meant to be playing at that one. Ian, I think that was that under nines. I think they were meant to be playing at that one, but it would have been playing a year up. So we played at Bromsgrove, and it was a good tournament actually. It was well put together. They had 12 teams in it, and Seb's team came third. So they lost to the winners. So they lost 2-1 in the semi-final. So it was good. Good. They've had a bit of an up and down season, but they're getting better. They're a good team. Had a lad up front today. They need a striker, and a bit like United, and he looked like the business. So hopefully we can get a striker for next season. Semis are Germany against Portugal and Spain versus France on the 5th, and the finals on the 8th. I fancy a bit of that, Arturo. I fancy a bit of that. We'll definitely do those then. That's a yellow card for O'Reilly. What's your thoughts on Man United having a barbecue instead of a trophy parade if they manage to win the Europa League titles? It's just a way of saving money, isn't it? I mean, look, whenever a mate says it's my 40th or whatever, a big birthday, and they go, I'm going to have a barbecue, I always say two things. One, what if it rains? And two, could you make it any more obvious that you're doing it on the cheap? They'll go, what do you mean? I said, well, how can you have a barbecue for your 40th? Like, you should be renting out a pub or something like that. And you don't know whether it's going to rain or not. And also, I bet you're going to say, bring your own drink. And they always do. So I think it's, I tell you what, you get really worried when you go to your mate's 40th in their back garden having a barbecue and they're charging you £3 a burger. I think that is the plan here with Sir Jim. I think it's going to be bring your own burgers, bring your own drink, and then when he cooks your burgers, he's going to charge you 30 quid for a burger and a couple of chips. Thoughts on Dean Henderson's baseball cap? Iconic, Eduardo. Corner to Palace here. This game feels like a long game, though. I mean, we've still got 25 minutes to go here. Thank you for your super chat, by the way, FJ. The United disband, says Big B. Thanks to Ian H. Drummer. Thoughts on Frimpong to Liverpool, says Charlie. Good signing. Truckee says Eze can leave this summer with pride. He's done it all. So Willsey says Southgate put stabilisers on his car. Man City clear the corner. Ryan says 90 minutes is still 90 minutes. Mate, I'm not into the whole conspiracy theories, but I'll tell you what now. Some people won't get their head around this. But 90 minutes, an hour, goes longer than an hour in different circumstances. It's true, isn't it? It's true. It's a life lesson. No hour feels the same. If you're doing something you don't want to do, it takes ages. If you're doing something you do want to do, it flies by. People are putting question marks. It's true. The perception of an hour to a human being is not the same. If you're having a great time, it will fly by. If you're having a bad time, it will be really slow. And that's what I mean. Some games go quicker than others when they're good games of football and they're end to end. And some games that are shit and boring seem to go on for ages. That is true, I know. It is true. It's common knowledge. It's common sense. That's what it is. If we pip Arsenal to second, is Howe manager of the season, says Jorginho. No, Slot is the manager of the season. Wharton. He's got to book De Bruyne. How many more times? Still hasn't booked him. If this ref knew where his card's off, De Bruyne would be off. Well, I think that evens it up for me because De Bruyne should be off now. So if Henderson should have been off, De Bruyne should have gone as well. Wharton would be such a good signing for Manchester United, says Mr. Kiko. He would, and I know that Man United would love to buy him, but so would a lot of other clubs. Any plans for tomorrow, says Alex? I will do the Arsenal game tomorrow. Obviously be on the United stand as normal. I'm just sort of like gradually sort of feeding my way into Wednesday, really. Just taking my time. You know, it's not one of those games that I'm sort of can't wait for it to happen. But I do want it to happen. I'm sort of just, you know, gradually just... It's there. I know it's there. It will come in its own time. But, yeah, it's a huge game for United. I just don't... I don't know, explaining it to a non-United fan, it's difficult because I know it's only the Europa League. But then again, it's a European final. I enjoyed winning it against Ajax, and I'll enjoy beating Spurs if we do it. But it's also the bigger connotations. No European football if we don't win it. No European football if we don't win it. A massive financial hole if we don't win it. It's just got such... It's more than a football game, basically. Thoughts on Ronaldo to Sporting this summer, playing in the Champions League again and best way to prep for the World Cup? Would you do Sporting Champions League games if it happens, as GGMU? I hope he does do it because it's always, I'm a big Ronaldo fan and I think we've always had this for years and years. Even when he was at United the first time, there was always this talk that he would like to go back to Sporting at the end of his career. So it'd be great if he did. What can he offer at that level? I don't know. Still 20 minutes to go. I just can't see how Man City won't create the chance here at some point. They're not going to not score. Palace desperately need the second goal. Doku's such an interest. De Bruyne is going to shoot from there. Good block. That's it. Go down, head. Yeah. Hey, De Bruyne, do one, you stupid twat. You can't go up to a player saying he's faking it when he's been hit in their head. I mean, he might be faking it. I would. No. Go down. You've been hit in the head. Go down. Could have killed him. Could have killed him. Yeah, I'd like. So yeah, if it's true that I think Ronaldo's Saudi contract's up in the summer, isn't it? So if only Man City had fans like Palace as MVPs. "18 minutes, well, there'll be stoppage time as well for Pep to salvage a trophy in what's been a horrible season." Is getting Champions League bigger than just winning the Europa League, says Nicholas? It is for Manchester United, contextually, yes. It's the money it brings in, yeah. Epic says, should Arsenal sign De Bruyne? Is it the end of the Pep era, says Brutos? Look, I just want to say, if Pep Guardiola leaves Man City this summer, I called it ages ago. A lot of people are telling me now he won't be going, but I still think there's a chance. But I still think Palace need the second goal if they want to win this game. Doku into Silva. Goes into Sabinho. No. Why he wants a handball there. Dougie says, do you think Pep should leave? It's really difficult to say because I think Rodri... You know what? The referee there blocked off Wharton making the tackle on De Bruyne and they nearly scored. I think with Rodri back, it makes such a... It'll make such a difference to this Man City side. I don't know why O'Reilly didn't shoot there. That was a great chance. I think having Rodri back, it's probably one of the biggest reasons that Man City have struggled this season. But if it doesn't work, Bernardo Silva gets his yellow card. Always a good bet, that. Robert McCormack will say that one. Yeah, so I think if they get Rodri back, they maybe will get back into the title race. But if he's not in a title race next season, then the pressure will mount on Pep, won't it? Spurs Way says, I think we'll be very pragmatic on Wednesday. How confident are you, Spurs Way? Got any Spurs fans? How confident are you? I mean, I've got to say, the Kulusevski injury really, and I don't wish injury on any player ahead of a final. I'm not going to lie and say it's not a bonus when the opposition have got injuries, but here comes Foden for Mamouche. But that injury for Kulusevski did sort of tip it a little bit our way. But I still think it's a flip of the coin. Man United have been so bad this season, and I know Spurs have been bad, but I don't think they can be a favourite when two teams have been so bad. So I don't know whether Sarr's out as well, Terp. I mean, look, it's a lot. The trouble with injuries is that United's injuries all defence. De Ligt, Yoro, and Dalot. Obviously Xerxes, but you've got people like Mason Mount back, etc. When you look at Spurs injuries, most of them in the midfield and in the attack. So I thought Bergvall actually has been one of Spurs' better players this year. He shows a lot of energy. He's a powerful player. He can't play. Maddison, I know he's a, hot and cold player, but he's still an attacking player. Kulusevski is the same. And then Sarr would be another midfielder with legs. So, yeah, it's they are key players, but and Son's not played really for 2 months, has he? So they've got a lot of issues, Spurs. But I don't think... Some people say, oh, Spurs don't win finals, so it's going to be in their head. It might be in their head when they're 1 or 2-0 down, if they're 1 or 2-0 down, but I don't think it will be in their head against the Premier League side at kick-off time. So I think whoever gets some momentum and scores first will, Man United are shit when they go behind as well. Who do you think's worse off next season if they lose, United or Spurs, says Chris? I think, I think Spurs are in a better position to deal with not being in Europe next season than Man United, because Daniel Levy obviously runs a tight ship and financially they're not going to be in big problems. But I think if Manchester United were to miss out on Champions League football, there would be huge issues, yeah. Spurs don't have Romero and Van der Ven out. Panda. They just got rested completely last night with Udogie. Spurs Way says United can attract players without it. We won't have the money though, mate. The players that we attract, you'd attract anyway. But obviously Spurs are going to probably have a new manager regardless, so that's got to go to your keeper. Well done. So still 12 minutes to go here. And Nketiah's come on. That's them down to 10 men, says Ollie. I mean, look, Arsenal did good business there. Steve Coppell. Mateta out. Yeah, Mateta's gone off for Nketiah. So Mateta is out. De Bruyne. Feels like... Well, it's certainly going to be De Bruyne's last cup final for Man City. He looks focused. How many times has he pulled a rabbit out the hat? As I said, all game, I feel that Man City will get a goal. I feel it's a long time. Even 10 minutes, you've got to have an out ball. And Nketiah is not strong enough there. Pep leaves City. He's bored by their playing style, says Rob Dobson. It's another corner here for City. Who's going to win the Champions League, says David. I'm an Inter fan and want to know your opinion. I think a lot of people think PSG are going to win it, but I think that totally and utterly disrespects what Inter have done. I mean, look, a lot of people... I had Barcelona as favourites when Liverpool went out. And Inter deserved to beat them. It was a close game, but nobody can say that Inter didn't deserve it. So I think that when you look at the final, I'm looking forward to it. I think that Inter are capable of winning it. There'll be a lot of pressure on PSG as well. Like they've never won it. So I'm not convinced what that final is going to be like. It could be a real cracker. It could be quite tight. But I think that it's a tough one to call, really. I thought that was Kalina then in a Crystal Palace top. Are you going to enjoy it if Man City lose? I will, says the main. Look, I want Palace to win. I think there's been controversy in this game, and I think Man City have got the right to feel aggrieved. But, of course I want Palace to win. But... There's a ball into Haaland. I do think City will score. Here's Foden. Nicely laid off to De Bruyne. This is it. Great save, Henderson. Oh, my God. I mean, Henderson has been immense, hasn't he? He's got to be man of the match. Cyber Turkey, great minds. This Echeverry. This is this lad that they've got who's meant to be quite good as well, isn't he? Wasn't a great finish, but didn't have a lot to aim for. Could Mateta work up top for Arsenal? Says Rag. I think Arsenal need... I mean, with all due respect to Mateta, I think Arsenal need to be going for a higher level striker than that. Do you think Frimpong will be the #1 right back next season for Liverpool, or will Slot stick with Bradley? I mean, look, Keegan, at the end of the day, good idea to just have them competing with each other, but I would expect the profile of player that Frimpong is to be looking to be the #1. Would they sack Amrim if he took a beating, says Chris on Wednesday? Amrim's not getting the sack, and Amrim shouldn't get the sack, regardless of the result. Regardless of the losses. Like, this is not his team. He has to be given a pre-season and a transfer window. Like, even if it, you know, I know the results are bad, but you just have to give that. Like, you do. Man City on the attack still. Nice little dink to the back post, but that'll be headed away. I just wanted to say at some point during the stream anyway, and just let me just get this Man City attack out of the way. There's just something I want to say as well. We had a tragic story in the UK in the last couple of days where two firefighters and a member of the public lost their lives in an RAF hangar building fire in Oxfordshire in the last couple of days. Huge respect for our emergency services, not just in this country, but around the world as well. So really sad to hear that. And I know that we're a community here and we all do different jobs, but there will be people out there who are in the emergency services doing a great job around the world. And I think it's always felt in them when you lose people in tragedies like that. So yeah, just sad news. And I know we have people who watch who are firefighters and, you know, doing, you know, great work while providing us with the safety blanket while we sleep. So yeah, very, very sad. And as a former member of the emergency services myself, obviously, I know over the years that these tragedies happen, and it just makes you think about, you know, some of us go to work and face very little peril, and some people go to work and face these dangers every day, and not just in the emergency services. I know that, but you know, it doesn't do us any harm to remember the sacrifices made by some people. Five minutes to go. And as I said, when that second goal was ruled out for Crystal Palace, he's coming forward again, Muniz. Oh, I thought he'd scored a worldie. He's going to go out for a throw-in. It was nowhere near. Third time lucky for Crystal Palace, 1990 against Manchester United. We beat them on a replay. Lee Martin. 2016, we beat them. Jesse Lingard. 2025, third time lucky. Not playing the Manchester Reds. Playing the Light Blues. And they might get over the line. Third time lucky. Still time for City though. 86 minutes. Will Hughes is coming on. I can't believe that Palace, Wharton's going off, could keep Man City to a clean sheet. That, for me, was always going to be the problem. I felt they needed the second goal. But they may not. They may not. De Bruyne. Time is running out on his career and also Man City's cup final hopes. Foden loses the ball. Eze, see you later. Little back heel here from Nketiah, wins a throw in. Now's the time where you're not in a rush to take them. Keegan Williams, thanks for your super chat. Palace fans getting a bit excited. Do the Poznan. Great respect for that shout out, Mark, says Fern. My dad is a firefighter and a United fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. Good luck Wednesday. Thank you, pal. It's a funny game on Wednesday because it's an all Premier League affair. I think that you're going to get Liverpool, Man City fans who want Spurs to win. You're going to get Arsenal, Chelsea fans who want Man United to win. The split's going to be very interesting. Whereas if it was Man United against, Frankfurt, I think most of the Premier League would want us to lose. I tell you what, it's been a long 90 minutes, this. Palace, I'd go to Henderson. Go back to Henderson. Lovely play, though. Fair play. Nketiah. Go for the corner flag. I don't think he was offside. Maybe it was. 21,000 watching, by the way. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you've subscribed. We're back tomorrow for Newcastle against Arsenal. Ten minutes added. 10 minutes added. You having a laugh? For what? For what? It's like having another bloody game. Well, we've got to be careful here. Doku lays it off. It's not been confirmed it's 10 minutes yet, but a lot of people in the chat are saying it is. I think there's been a bit of a late substitution there by Manchester City to the PGMOL by the sounds of it. Bloody hell. "10 minutes is shocking, but they're in. O'Reilly, that's going to go out for a goal kick. It is 10 minutes. Wow. For what? I'm trying to think. Right, we've had a number of substitutions. We had Wharton hit on the head. We had the offside. I mean, I know you can easily get to 10 minutes, but they got rid of this last season. They stopped this last season. They remember every game last year there was like 10 minutes added on and 5 minutes at the end of every first half. They actually stopped doing it, and here we are back doing it again. Scandalous. Chat's going mad. Absolute mad. Just while you're here, please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 200 away from 330,000, so get involved with That's Football. Big summer ahead. We've had a Here We Go live on the show. Frimpong to Liverpool has been confirmed. That's a terrible header. Foden. He's got him. Well done. Good defending. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Manscaped on here as well today. You can get 20% off with the code and free worldwide shipping. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. This is going to be a long 10 minutes, everybody. I mean, if Palace are to win this, they've got to keep Man City quiet for 100 minutes. That's never a penalty, Doku. Any note? That's a terrible clearance. Look, the 10 minutes added on doesn't matter unless they score after 5 minutes. I think for the first fight, you were expecting 5. Johnny says, PJ Moala are just going to keep playing until City score. It's good play by Doku. Edge of the box. De Bruyne shoots wide. Probably the fighting medics, says Lewis. Is it truer we'll get him linked with Ramsdale, says Mohammed. I hope not. Liverpool fan, I want United to win. Spurs would celebrate like they won the World Cup and would be so obnoxious. United would celebrate appropriately, says 2A. I think if we win the Europa League, Manchester United, by the way, I think there'll be a lot of relief. And I think there'll be a lot of happiness. But I think it'll be more of a get to work. It's been an embarrassment this season. That's a lifeline. We'll take the trophy. We'll enjoy it. But I don't think there'll be many Man United fans going, up yours, everybody else were better than you. Because we can't. I think it's just relief and a lifeline. Whereas I think if Spurs win it, you know, understandably, they don't win trophies. So it would be like an amazing moment for them, wouldn't it? As a gooner, all I can say is glory, glory, Man United, says Haas. What's with the crappy City font, says Mrs. Stone. Oh, I don't understand it. I don't understand why they have that. Will PGMOL refund if City end trophyless, says Rob Dobson. 1-3-1 now, says Howder. Decision will be now postponed till spring 2026 because of those 10 minutes. Vivek says pick one, 6 Premier League titles or 1 Champions League in 10 years. I'll have the 6 Premier League titles, thank you. It's another foul there. Right, we've had 5 minutes now. We're now heading into the City minutes of added time. We've had virtually had the 5 we should have had. We have still got another 5. I don't know why we've had 10. We've spoken about that, but we're heading into that now. Halfway through the added time. We've had 5 of 10. Echeverry's a liability, says Sarah. Look, there has been controversies in this game. Very much think that Dean Henderson should have been sent off, and he's ended up being man of the match. Don't think Man City should have had a penalty, but they missed it anyway. De Bruyne has committed more yellow card fouls than I've seen him commit all season. I don't think he's even had a yellow card. So officiating hasn't been great. But keeping City to a clean sheet for me always seemed unlikely. And Henderson's made another save. Has De Bruyne had a yellow card? They want a handball. Shut up. Absolutely can't have a handball for that. Don't be stupid. If they lose, do they do the reverse Posman so they look like a bunch of penguins, says Nick P. Pep out, had all that money spent in January and no return on the investment, says Narky. You know, this for me now is the area where it's unfair on Palace because there should not have been any more than 6 minutes added on. 10 minutes is a joke. We've had 96 minutes. And this is the danger zone. De Bruyne does have 1 booking. Foden, that's well over hit. Let it go. That's another minute. Take your time. Take the time to make some sense. Poor old Noel. At least he lives in London. Go let it out. Take what you need and be on your way and stop crying your heart out. Robbie went with a Palace win. He did, and I'm happy for him to win this one. I don't mind. Still 2.5 minutes to go. And guarantee he'll add time on top of that. Get up. Come on. Don't be scared. Your destiny may keep me warm. I feel like I'm jinxing this. It's too early. Get it out. Get it out. Nice little ball there. Henderson, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Still got time here. Would you take Munoz at United, says Ethan? He's a very good player, actually. I've been impressed with him virtually every time I've seen him play for Crystal Palace. And 28. Probably not going to get a move to a big club, is he? But he has been decent. Chase it, Nketiah. 60 seconds to go. Chris Levi says, Newcastle and Crystal Palace winning a trophy this year is crazy. We're not there yet. Breaking news from Christian says, the FA has just announced that there'll be a second leg of the FA Cup final. Nice little touch. We're talking about 30 seconds now. Doku has it. He's going to shoot. Let it go. Let it go. Take what you need and be on your way and stop crying your heart out. We're all of us stars. We're fading away. Just try not to worry. You'll see them someday. Take what you need and be on your way and stop crying your heart. Game over. Game over. Crystal Palace have won the FA Cup 2025 against Manchester City. That is football. I tell you what, I don't know why this game didn't have the hype. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because it just didn't have the hype or the build-up. But it certainly delivered with the giant killing. 1-0 to Crystal Palace. It's had its controversies. But look at those Palace fans. Look what it means to them. That's football. That is football. They've beaten Fulham in the quarterfinals away from home. They've beaten Villa in the semi-finals. And they've now beaten Manchester City in the final. Absolutely fantastic. Pep Guardiola is having a right old ungracious loss. There you go. You see, the thing I love about Pep Guardiola, right? You know what I love about Pep Guardiola, yeah? And you can clip me up on this. I love this about Pep. Is that when he's winning, the media, Lineker and co, are right up his arse, right? And when he wins a game of football, he'll walk on, he'll speak to an opposition player, and he'll be all empathetic. Oh, you've done really, really well. You've done really well. I'm better, though. I've won. You've done really, really well. Oh, yeah. But when he loses, he's a right petulant twat. And you know what? The wheels have come off your season, mate. You have been humbled this season. And deservedly so. Palace deserve to win. City have had a terrible season. Will we see Pep next season? It's going to be very, very interesting to see. But I've got to be honest, I tipped Man City to win the league. I certainly expected they'd win 2 trophies in some way, shape or form. And ultimately, Man Man City are in crisis. No trophies. £150 million spent in January. You know, where's the call in for that? Where's the talk about that? Arteta didn't spend 150 million in January. Amram didn't spend 150 million pounds in January. Ange didn't spend 150 million pounds in January. Nothing to show, because at the end of the day, the jury on Man City is, are they a one-man team? And it ain't Pep. I'm talking Rodri. That's the only justification I can think of. But let's talk about Crystal Palace. FA Cup winners, Crystal Palace 2025. This is not like Wigan winning it. This is just what the FA Cup should be about. Crystal Palace are a good Premier League side who on their day can beat anybody. And that's what a cup should all be about. And I want to say fair play to Crystal Palace and Glasner, because we see it time and time again. Teams in the bottom half of the table, mid-table, the FA Cup third round comes along, and they start picking their reserves and they get knocked out, and we end up with the strong teams with the strong squads like Chelsea, Man United, Man City. Fair play to Crystal Palace for actually having a pop at the FA Cup this year, because look at what it's done. You finish mid-table, but you're the FA Cup winners and you're going to be in Europe. And I think too many teams, you look at Brighton, you look at Bournemouth, you look at Fulham, they all thought Man City will win it and we'll get into Europe through 8th place. You're not now. There's no 8th place in Europe, and that's their issue, because Crystal Palace have taken it because they've won the cup, not 8th place in the Premier League. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. And it's a message. It's a message to every team from 8th down that you should take the FA Cup seriously. Because if you do, you win a trophy for your fans and you go into the Europa League, not the Conference League. They're going into the Europa League. So it's absolutely fantastic, and fair play to that. Fair play to Crystal Palace, because it irritates me the amount of teams that don't take the cup seriously. And Bournemouth, Fulham, and Brentford thought that they were playing for the Brighton, Brentford, and Bournemouth thought they were playing for Europe, and they're not. They're not. So well done to Crystal Palace. And look, they've not conceded a goal from the quarterfinals to the final. They went to Fulham, they didn't concede. They played against Villa, they didn't concede. They played 100 minutes here, they haven't conceded. They're worthy FA Cup winners. There's no luck. All right, the Henderson one probably should have been a red card, but, you know, City have had a lot of dodgy decisions over the years. It's a fantastic win for Crystal Palace, and well done. Well done to them. Least someone in London can win a trophy, says Gary. What do you think the problem is with Man City? Well, look, I don't want to talk about Man City too much because Crystal Palace deserve it. It's a really big moment, and this is what I think that's football's all about, and this is what I think football's all about, is that Man City have been in the FA Cup final 3 times in the last 3 years. They've only won 1. Man United won it against the odds last season. Crystal Palace have won it against the odds this season. That's a big story for Manchester City. You know, they've been in the final 3 years in a row and they've only won 1. Justifiably lost both those finals as well. I feel that when you look at this season in its entirety, I never would have predicted that Man City wouldn't win something. Didn't even get to the last 16 of the Champions League. Were never in a title race. Been beaten by Palace in the final. They've got a big rebuild, but they did spend £150 million in January. I mean, I personally think Pep Guardiola should go. I think Man City's rebuild in the summer should be a rebuild of, a new manager. And let's not forget with Man City as well, God knows what's happening with 115. Is that still to come? Are they suffering a hangover from that? I don't know. But Palace are in Europe. They'll be playing in the Europa League, Joe. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be really interesting for Palace, isn't it? How do you cope with the Premier League and the Europa League? It's going to be an adventure. Selhurst Park in Europe, brilliant. And they've deserved it, absolutely deserved it. So well done. But as I said, I hope that this is a kick up the arse for Bournemouth and Brentford and Brighton to say, look, you've had really good Premier League seasons, but there is no Europe spot. There's a Europa League spot for winning the FA Cup. You're not going to get relegated next year because it'll be 3 up, 3 down. Teams need to start taking the FA Cup more seriously because it's a pathway into the Europa League. And, Arsene Wenger and co can shut up and sit down, because the reason Man United have got an opportunity to win the Europa League and get in the Champions League is because we won the FA Cup last year. And Crystal Palace will be in the Europa League because they've won the FA Cup. And these are British tournaments. So I would rather see a team who finishes mid-table be in the Europa League because they won an FA Cup than a team who finishes 8th be in it because Man City win it, who are going in the Champions League. So I think teams need to take the FA Cup more seriously. That's what I think, definitely. Well done, everybody. I've really enjoyed the stream, and I will see you tomorrow for Newcastle against Arsenal. I am on the United stand at 8 o'clock as well. Is there going to be a Man City in crisis video? Maybe at some point, but to be honest with you, let's be humble. Crystal Palace deserve the plaudits. They have won the FA Cup, and it's absolutely fantastic. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you later.